Good morning. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Miller, and I am the principal of Galway Junior Senior High School. On behalf of the Board of Education, administration, teacher, staff, and students, I would like to welcome you to the Class of 2018 Commencement Ceremonies. Before we begin our ceremony this morning, I would like to acknowledge the amazing, talented, and dedicated faculty and staff in Galway Central School District. Please join me in thanking our teachers, administrators, guidance counselors, teachers' aides, cafeteria workers, custodial and maintenance staff, secretary, school nurses, and bus drivers, all of whom have helped to make the difference in the lives of these graduates sitting up here today. Just as an important group to acknowledge is the family and friends who are joined here this morning. No one gets to this day alone. It is a collaborative effort of your family and friends that has guided you to this special day. Therefore, I would like to ask the class of 2018 in a moment to rise and give their family and friends a standing ovation for all of their commitment, support, friendship, and love. Class? Thank you. The last group, of course, that I want to thank are our graduates themselves. Your talents are endless and leave our community in awe. Among you are scholars, athletes, artists, musicians, community servants, and loyal individuals committed to all facets of their hometown. You have had a special 13 years here at Galway, and the bonds that you have created are unique and everlasting. You really have left your mark on Galway. I have enjoyed being with you on this journey for the last year and a half. I have admired your spirit, your love of life, your sense of humor, and even your computer graphics abilities. But in all fairness, that was not drawn to scale. As you move on from high school, I want you to remember to take chances and to not be afraid of failure. Because you were able to survive a Washington, D.C. trip with me, my family believes you all deserve a medal, but I can't do that today. So instead, I will share some wisdom with you from President Lincoln. He states, "My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with failure." We all fail, and will fail again. But with the foundation you've been given here, you will be able to face failure head on, learn from it, and become stronger because of it. As you go out to spread your wings, whether that's in college, the armed service, or the workforce, remember the lessons that you have learned, the friendships you have cultivated, and the preparations you have made, so that you may go forth living each day to your fullest potential. Appreciate the little things in life. Celebrate the milestones. Call home often. Go out and make a difference. And remember that you are forever a golden eagle. So remember what President Lincoln said. Whatever you are, be a good one. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite our Superintendent of School, Mr. Shannon Shine.
Good morning, everyone. It's actually wonderful to be here. It's a nice day. Fantastic group of graduates this morning. It will actually be the last time I will address the students at Galway, as Mrs. Donovan will be taking over for Superintendent of Schools. Another piece of great news. My own son graduated yesterday from Shenendehowa. The ceremony was a little different. There were about 5,000 seats, and we sat on the lawn because we didn't get a seat. But it was pretty nice. It was my youngest child. And what I'm going to tell you today is fairly brief, and I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell my own children and that I've told the last 5 years worth of graduates at Galway. To make it fun, I've condensed it into a top 10 list. Here goes. Number 1, be kind all the time to people who deserve it and people who don't deserve it. Relatedly, Mark Twain once said, "Kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see." Also remember that it is often better to be kind than to be right. 2, treat others the way you would like to be treated. Don't just say this, do it. It's harder than it sounds. That's why it's one of the 2 great commandments which Jesus taught. 3, serve others. You've heard that it's better to give than to receive. This is true. Explore the paradox of accumulation via dissemination by serving others. 4, balance your life. Family, friends, church, school, work, play, hobbies, service, whatever takes up your time and attention should be balanced. You become what you repeatedly do. Number 5, laugh frequently and heartily, especially at yourself. A sense of humor lends perspective to almost everything. In the book of Proverbs, we find, "Laughter doeth as a good medicine," a fact to which even secular physicians will readily attest. 6, prioritize. Since you become a combination of the things you repeatedly do and spend your time on, choose wisely and make it a point to allocate time to what really matters in your life. 7, make your avocation your vocation if possible. Figure out what you're passionate about, and then, if you can, try to make it a full-time job. Be passionate at your work and in your personal life. This is a choice and does not depend on external circumstances. Number 8, forgive even the unforgivable. Anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret are cancerous. They can damage or destroy you. Do not give them a foothold in your heart. 9, praise liberally. Tell people you care about them or appreciate them or love them whenever you can. Express your gratitude in the moment. Genuine compliments and appreciation restore and strengthen our hearts and breed hope. And number 10, most importantly, love unconditionally. God bless you, God bless Galway, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Shine. It is my pleasure now to introduce the Salutatorian for the class of 2018, Eric Matthews.
Fellow graduates, families, teachers, and staff, good morning. I'm incredibly honored to be standing here today to speak as the Salutatorian of the class of 2018. To explain what a Salutatorian is, I turned to a very reliable source that teachers often recommend, urbandictionary.com. The Salutatorian is a kid who stayed up way too late studying and missed so many events that everyone thought he was a hermit just to get second place. But if I do remember correctly from elementary school, first is the worst, second is the best, and third is the one with the hairy chest. All jokes aside, I would truly like to start off by thanking several people who have played a crucial role in the development of the fine individuals sitting on this stage today. Mr. Miller, thank you for giving us energy and always being so optimistic. You pushed for our success and have been so encouraging along the way. You have only been our principal for a year and a half, yet it feels like a lifetime. Thank you. Mr. Kosak, thank you for ensuring the A-Park door is always closed and attempting to teach us how to park, although I'm not sure that will ever happen. You've kept a close lookout on all of us, ensuring that we would grow into the mature individuals we are today. Ms. Mork, thank you for pushing us to get those college applications in on time. Your job is very stressful, yet you manage to exceed your responsibilities day in and day out. Mrs. Donovan, we don't get to work with you one-on-one, but your school spirit is infectious. Thank you for being such a positive role model. Ms. Donnan, thank you for being the best advisor a class could ever ask for. You helped us plan an extremely successful prom and, of course, a revolutionary senior trip. You are at every fundraiser and every event. We couldn't have asked for anything more. Galway will miss you so much next year. To the teachers, thank you for being some of the most influential people in the first 18 years of our lives. Besides our wonderful parents and families, you have acted as our backbone, never failing to give us advice and making us one of the best classes to ever sit on a Galway stage. You deserve a very large round of applause. And most importantly, our parents and families. Without each and every one of you, I don't know how we could possibly be sitting here today. Your guidance and dedication toward our success are things that we will cherish forever. You're our biggest role models and have given us the power to do anything we set our minds to. So when I started writing this speech, I had practically no clue how to connect so many people at once. I knew I had to tell a story, but a story about what? I started off by trying to define Galway. Who are we, and what makes us so unique? Is it our agricultural Olympics where students bounce up and down on inflatable horses? Because that's definitely a sight to see. Or is it our tightly knit community? After days of trying to answer this question, I thought a little bit outside of the box and came up with farming. I mean, we live in Galway. How many of us know someone who lives on a farm? Because it's the start of strawberry season and everyone loves a nice, fresh, plump strawberry, I have decided to enlighten you with the story of a strawberry. You may think you know everything about this basic, juicy fruit, but in reality, there's a lot that goes into it. When a strawberry is first planted, it spreads its roots and familiarizes itself with the ground. Or, as Mrs. Donovan would put it, our little golden eagle wings begin to spread. Elementary school was the start of an unforgettable experience. Our class started to bond, we were all scared, and most of us got cranky without our milk and snack. We had no clue what school had in store for us. We didn't even have an idea of where we would end up. We went to school, bonded with each other, and became comfortable. Little did we know, we were igniting the sparks that carried us all throughout high school. As the strawberry plant begins to set its roots, just like we did, the runners of the plant begin to grow. They reach outside their original location and begin to explore new surroundings so the plant can flourish. They don't have a direction, they just search for new areas to continue their growth. Middle school definitely seemed to be the years our runners started to grow. Whether it be wearing cringy flat brim hats or having really awkward rec night relationships, we truly discovered who we were. I can still remember the days where everyone in the entire grade would freak out because of someone's very first middle school kiss. The last song of the evening at the middle school rec night, the two would lean in slowly and just peck. Both would sprint in opposite directions, but it felt like the biggest night of their life. These nights are the ones that brought us closer. Our runners worked through a lot of awkward phases, but they had definitely found their place. The plant was sturdy, it stretched, it flowered, and now, at this moment, it was ready to grow its very first green strawberry. The very first green strawberry was an experience similar to our first year in high school. If High School Musical got anything right about the way high school works, it has to be that we're all in this together. Sitting in Mr. Kervin's class during my first period of freshman year kind of scared me a little bit, but as we progressed, everything seemed to turn out okay. We definitely hit a couple of rough patches throughout our freshman year, and I'm sure you can all figure out what that was. Shout out to Mrs. Muth, thank you for saving us. The obstacles we hit definitely did not stop us though. Our strong work ethic and perseverance helped us transform. We were secretly being molded, and the strawberry was getting larger, starting to ripen. Sophomore and junior years came around fast, and we were settled into the same old routine. Wake up, get to school, fight to stay awake during first period, and carry on with the rest of your day. We looked forward to getting through these middle years and enjoying our summers, but little did we know that meant our time at Galway was ticking down faster than we had imagined. Sitting here today, looking back at all that we have done seems unimaginable. I am beyond proud of everything that our class has accomplished. As I walked through the halls nearing the last day of school, I heard so many underclassmen and teachers saying, "What is Galway going to do without you guys next year?" But it's true. We have filled the miraculous 4 hallways of Galway High School with so much energy and dedication. We are all role models and leaders in our own different ways. We are unique, but we are all from the same roots. The roots that all of us planted once in Galway many years ago have grown and produced a group of fine individuals. This may sound silly, but after all these years, we are mature, well-rounded strawberries ready to be picked. Graduates, I would like to leave you a bit of advice to carry with you after we walk across this stage very shortly. Keep in mind that everyone has their niche. Some of us may go to the workforce, others may serve in the armed forces, and many of us will venture off to college. These paths may cross and diverge, but they will all lead to success. Theodore Roosevelt said it best: "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Don't ever underestimate yourself, like that basic strawberry. Be proud of your accomplishments, embrace who you are, and go into this world with a full head of steam. The sky is not the limit, because I'm pretty sure there are footprints on the moon. High school is not the peak of our entire life. We are not defined by the grades we received or the extracurriculars we were in, because after this morning, we are set free on a clean slate. We are all here because we met the same requirements to graduate, and that is why we are all wearing the same cap and gowns. Secondly, stay true to yourself. As Ellen DeGeneres once said, never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and see a path, then by all means you should follow that. Life can be so unpredictable. You're going to face large brick walls that may seem impossible to get by, but if you stay true to yourself and keep your goal in mind, you can do anything. From a very powerful childhood movie, I would like to share this quote, which happens to be one of my favorites. "The flower that blooms in the face of adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all." The Emperor of China said this in the very famous 2000s film, Mulan. The obstacles that many of us are likely to encounter will only make us stronger. Like I said before, embrace these obstacles because you will grow from them. Lastly, graduates, remember your roots. Galway will always have a special place in your heart. Although your parents may be sad and start to cry when you head off to college, they shouldn't be. In the past 13 years of high school, we have created an unbreakable bond. We have worked together and pushed each other to be the best that we can be. And if that doesn't define a family, I don't know what does. Leaving here today should not be the end of a story, but just a farewell. After all, plants always do turn to their roots for life and support. Graduates, we have been there for one another since the beginning, and once we cross the stage today, I don't imagine anything will change. We are about to join the ranks of many accomplished Galway High School graduates. You should be proud of what you have done to get to this point. Remember, follow your path, stay true to yourself, and don't ever, ever forget your roots. I have been blessed to call you all my classmates. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Eric. Providing the class history will be the class officers of the class of 2018.
Good morning. Okay. Well, we did it. We made it to the day that most of us have been counting down for since freshman year with something that I like to call premature senioritis. Many of us have been here at Galway since kindergarten, and that is, although some may think differently, actually an opportunity of a lifetime. We have watched and helped each other grow into unique individuals, and this has allowed for some wonderful memories. Not all of the friendships that we have made throughout the years will last forever, but these memories surely will. Galway is a community where everything gets around to everyone in a matter of a day, which can sometimes be a curse, but it is also a community where people have each other's backs when necessary. A community that is there to support each other in times of need. That is something that I think we should continue to appreciate even as we move on to different opportunities and ambitions in life. Today, we will help our friends from the class of 2018 pause for a minute to look back onto some of these memories before we head into that next crazy chapter of our lives.
The friendships and relationships we've built go all the way back to 2005, 13 years ago. Kindergarten was not only when the movie Chicken Little came out, but also when we took naps and flipped cards based on your behavior. Green was a good day. Yellow was considered a warning, even made some kids tear up. Red was outright dangerous. You were the rebel of the class when you made it to red. We eventually learned how to check books out of the library, and many kids argued over who would check out the Guinness Book of World Records for that week. He was the only one that was interesting. We learned how to walk into 2 straight lines in the hallway, and we envied the line leaders for that day. Elementary school was when all 3 high school musical movies were made, along with the first Cars movie, Camp Rock, and Up. Beyblades and Bakugan were hit toys, and Pluto was expelled from the Planetary Club. It was a time where things like challenge runs, scooter boards, and stations were the highlights of gym class. Each year concluded with spectacular battles of strength and speed in the Rainbow Classic. The Halloween parade outside was the highlight of October, with some dressing as Darth Vader and others as Power Rangers or princesses. Shout out to all the parents who were insanely creative and made extremely impressive homemade costumes. Throughout elementary school, we learned how to address an envelope and mail it to our classmates across the hall through the We Deliver program. DARE was another program that we learned about drug safety from trained officers, instead of today's educators like Lil Pump and Famous Dex. We learned about respect through various different puppet shows like Bully Busters as well. This show included life lessons from giant talking dinosaurs, which, not gonna lie, is kind of a weird concept. Camp Ginger Cook turned out to be the trial run for overnight trips for our class. It was when many of you conquered Buck Mountain and learned that hiking just wasn't your thing. It was also a time when a whole tube of toothpaste was consumed and a pair of undies was dropped outside the cabins. And everyone was just mature enough to yell, "Ew," and show all their friends. We were the last class Mr. Griffin was principal for through our elementary school years. He then retired and took the famous finger wave and cheerleading uniform with him. Then there was middle school, a time when we all look back and wonder why no one told us that bowl cuts, plaid shorts, and frosted tips were not a good look. During our middle school years, Disney made the movies Big Hero 6, Monsters University, Wreck-It Ralph, Lemonade Mouth, and believe it or not, Frozen. It was also when we built mini model rockets to launch. Congrats to all the people who were able to catch theirs on launch day, because I remember a lot of them exploded and never got off the launcher or just got lost in the woods. We also started the crazy concept of switching from classroom to classroom and not having our own desk, and first began using lockers rather than keeping everything stored in cubbies. Middle school was when SMAth was a thing. Yeah. It was a time when there was a lot of immaturity and hallway fights were pretty frequent. There was even an incident with Mr. Healy. He had an assembly with only the middle school boys to address a certain issue that we probably shouldn't talk about. Despite all of this, many of us were still able to attend the trip to Boston, and we participated in a community service pickup day. Middle school was not that bad, though. It was when we met the amazing Miss Kay, who left a profound impact on us, and asked her to come to speak here with us today. These years were long, memorable, and essential because they prepared us for the success in our high school careers.
So on to high school. During our 4 years of high school, the Disney movies Inside Out, Zootopia, Finding Dory, Moana, and now Incredibles 2 were released. And we spent these 4 years making unforgettable memories both in the classroom and in our extracurriculars. We also grew close to teachers and welcomed new ones. And we also made many achievements that will forever be recognized by our school and the other students in it. So high school started out with freshman year, where SMAth, as Jake was mentioned, was shut down, partly. We also spent time in Kervin's class where we made potato emperors and roasted other students. We decorated our hallway that year to look like Disney Tangled, and a decent-sized group of students also traveled with a few teachers to Italy. And many of us went to our first homecoming soccer game, where we also got to witness a fireworks show that has now become a tradition for the rest of our years. And then on to sophomore year, where we took a Spanish trip, and we ate some very interesting food and got to witness our teacher, Mrs. Sarton, do the salsa. We decorated our hallway that year in the theme of countries, and we had to decorate ours to look like Egypt. And we also witnessed our loved stores in town like the Galway Market, Chuck's, and Bill's Dugout all closed. But Bill's is back now, thanks to Ed. Finally, we go on to become upperclassmen and start that with junior year, where many of us took our first class with Mr. Darlington, where we cringed when we got our blitz grades back, and we accidentally set lab tables on fire, and we also suffered through having funny-looking forehead marks from our safety goggles. We also traveled to Salem, Massachusetts, transitioned to taking buses to prom, and we witnessed the fall of the hallway decorations, which we attempted to bring back with Christmas-themed locker decorations, but ultimately decided it wasn't the same. We also witnessed the beginning of the Ag Olympics era, which we've won for 2 years now, not to brag. And finally, the famous senior year, where many of us suffered senioritis, especially as we got closer to the end of the year. And among many students, the Rubik's Cube made a comeback and almost a competition for who had the weirdest one or could solve it the fastest. Many of us also began using the student parking lot, which never failed to be a place of entertainment. You all know who you are. And we brought back overnight senior trips, which hadn't been allowed for many years now. And this trip to Washington, D.C. was filled with many unique memories of its own, including lots of water. Shout out to Mr. Miller, who slept a total of 6 hours throughout the entire trip between checking rooms and working at night, yet he was up every morning with a skip in his step and ready to give a quick history lesson or recite the Gettysburg Address. Following DC, we also managed to cross-approve a senior prank on our athletic director, our principal, and our superintendent, which may or may not have included an air horn rigged underneath someone's office chair. Along with these many memories that we made, we also grew close to many teachers, and we welcomed some new ones, including Mr. Dacaruso, Mr. Toscano, Mrs. Clifford, and Mrs. O'Brien-Yeto. And we also made many achievements that will forever be recognized. For example, we pioneered now successful clubs like our robotics club, our FFA program, Best Buddies, and new ag programs. And we also stepped up already existing clubs to new levels like our GTV club and our science club. These achievements also spread to our athletics, where our volleyball team got the opportunity to go to states. Our track and field team set 2 new records, including our 4x400 record and our 100-meter record. And we also witnessed the greatest wrestler Galway has seen, who is now graduating. And in total, our class is sending 7 students to sign for NCAA athletic teams, which is very impressive for a class of our size. These memories, relationships, and achievements we've made as a class will forever be cherished, and no matter where the future takes us.
So, my fellow classmates, we have made it through these past 13 years. And whether or not you have spent them here or not, hopefully you can pick out at least one of those memories that you can look back on with a smile. There have been ups and downs, tears and laughs, friends and fights, makeups and breakups, but most importantly, there has been growth. Just as the movies released throughout the years by Disney have significantly morphed and changed throughout time, so have we. And although not everyone may agree with Disney's new production choices, I think that who we've changed and morphed into today is something to be extremely proud of. I once read something that you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. I like to consider this as only the beginning for us. Some might look at these past 13 years with more fondness than others, and whether or not you are looking to change something, I believe that you all have the power to change whatever your heart desires in the life ahead of you. Life is risky, but in the long run, we shape it, and we shape ourselves. My one last favor I would like to ask of you, the class of 2018, would be to be grateful for the moment and be kind to one another. This will be the last time that all of us will probably ever be in a room together at the same time. So look around, take it all in, and live in the moment. Thank you. We would now like to present our class gift There are a few different parts this year. The first one are the picture boards that you probably saw out in the lobby when you came in. Each year, these will be hanging above the lockers throughout the hallways, and they'll be filled with the past graduating classes' individual pictures, like shown out there. This is accompanied by either a college-bound, military-bound, or employment-bound sign, and this is kind of a way for Galway students to see like what the past students are doing and give them like an encouragement or a goal to shoot for. The second part of our gift is a $1,300 donation to the agriculture landscaping class. This was done with the intent that the money will be used to create a garden, plant trees, and purchase a bench in memory of a classmate we lost in middle school, Brendan Loya, and the alumni who passed away this year, Logan Whelan and Connor Bradshaw. We did this so that the landscaping class would be able to see the project through and create as nice of a setting as possible after the capital project is completed with kind of tearing up our front lawn. The next thing we would like to do is present our advisor gift to Miss Donnan. This is just a way for us to sort of say thank you for the past 4 years, even though it's kind of hard to put that into words. Also for your many years here at Galway and everything you have done and dedicated all your time to us. We wish you the best of luck in your retirement, and hopefully these gifts can kind of start it off in the right way.
Thank you, class officers. And on behalf of Galway Junior Senior High School community, thank you to the class of 2018 for your kind donation and your thoughtful display. It truly represents the spirit and pride that the class of 2018 has for Eagle Nation. It is now my great honor to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2018, Maya Vanderhorst.
Sorry, I'm short. Good morning, and thank you for being here today. I'm not gonna lie, this was very difficult to write, and it took me a very long time to decide what I was going to say today. After thinking for a long time, I decided I wanted to go the more deep and meaningful route, and hope you all can find a tiny piece of inspiration and motivation to take away with you today. Time is a pretty crazy concept. It brings together our past, present, and future. Today, we gather to celebrate the 13 years we have dedicated to high school, but more importantly, we should also celebrate all of those who have supported us on this journey to adulthood. We should celebrate all the time our parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, friends, teachers, coaches, and everyone at the school for giving up countless hours to get us here today. Thinking back to a year ago, we were celebrating the fact that we were finally seniors. A year ago, you as parents could probably not believe that we would be graduating in just a year. And now that time has actually come. A year ago, I'm sure many of you wanted that clock to speed up. But for me, I experienced something different. The clock stopped. Because a year ago, my grandmother passed away. I had lost one of my biggest supporters and the person I looked up to the most. Sorry. A former teacher herself, she was heavily invested in educating my sister and I, calling us every week to see how we were doing. I can vividly remember sharing with her my report cards and her yelling out over the phone, "Boy, you're such a dummy." She would always tell anyone who asked her how she was doing that no matter what, she was determined to make it here today. Boy, do I wish she was. She would be proud. She would have loved this. Not only seeing Leah and I, but seeing all of you taking your next step as well. And although the timing wasn't right, I realized that I could still fulfill her biggest wish. By inspiring you the way she inspired me, she can still be here today. At her service, a few days after she passed, she asked for 2 poems to be shared. Looking back on that time now, I realize that they have a great lesson. Time is short. It flies by, and one must make the most of what they have. So today, I have decided to share with you all what my grandmother shared with me, a poem she wrote a few years ago called Hope. In the losing, there is finding. In the finding, there is change. In the change, there is growing, and the growing has its pain. With the pain comes a vision. With the vision, there is doubt. With the doubt, there is some hope, and the hope will win out. Hope by Karen Martin. All of us here today have all hoped for things during our lives. But I think there is one thing that everyone in this room has hoped for: more time. More time to be young, more time to spend with the ones you love, to get everything done, or to just live, because time really does fly by. Honestly, it feels like yesterday was the first day of high school. And now we are all sitting here on our way out of the same place our parents dropped us off 13 years ago. When you think about your journey, it has all been about time. And today we are celebrating that journey. Countless hours of nap time, recess, art, gym, classwork, homework, studying, test taking, sporting contests, plays, concerts, ceremonies, you name it. 13 years worth of creating memories like you all saw earlier this morning, memories that will last a lifetime. Now, 13 years may not seem like a lot to all of you sitting up here today. I sure didn't think it was that long until last year when time was put into perspective. Today has all been about time, and I think this next poem will put time into perspective for you too. It is called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came her date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? When you sit and think about the time you've lived today, you start to realize just how much time 13 years can be. In 7 years, we will be a quarter of the way through our dash. The next quarter we have is the same amount of time our parents spent finding love and raising us. That same half of our life is also spent working. Here we lose time every minute, time we wished we had, for the things we really want to do. Then you reach that final quarter, the time where you start to wonder, did you really do everything you dreamed of? I'm sure all of us here today have given up something we really wanted, dreamed of, or hoped to have. Now, we can't rewind time, but we can start a new clock. Earlier this morning, in the second half of that amazing video, we all shared our biggest dreams. Right now, I want everyone else here today to think about what you have always wished for but never seemed to make happen. Think about how you've spent that quarter, half, 3/4, or somewhere in between of your dash. Is there something you have always hoped to do but never got the chance to? Well, starting today, you have all gotten a new clock. One that reminds you time flies, and only you get the choice to decide what you do with it. Take that trip to Europe. Go to a football game. Eat out at your favorite restaurant. Take time off to visit family or friends you haven't seen in years. Do something that you've kept putting off because there was always something else more important. Spend the time you have doing what you love, because you never know when that little line will stop for you. From now on, you have the power to write your future and to fill in the line between the years. Sure, time may stop here or there, and it may flash before your eyes, but don't let that stop you for too long. Soon enough, you'll reach the end, never having fulfilled your biggest hope. That's the scary part, because by then, it is too late to realize that you let time decide for you instead of deciding for yourself. Because in finding your dreams, you can create the change from the beginning to the end. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Maya, for that heartfelt message. It is now my honor to welcome the chamber singers for a wonderful song. Thank you very much. That was outstanding. I would now like to invite all of our members who are here to help us in the presentation of awards to the class of 2018.
The Galway PTSA Valedictorian Award is given to the member of the graduating class who attained the highest scholastic average over 4 years of high school work. This award goes to Maya Vanderhorst. The Galway PTSA Salutatorian Award is given to the member of the graduating class who attained the second highest scholastic average for 4 completed years of high school work. This award goes to Eric Matthews.
Good morning. First of all, I have to congratulate the class of 2018. I've had a blast watching you all through the years. Some of you, I believe, have been in my preschool class, and I don't know how we got here, but we did. All those years went by so fast. Your sports, your concerts, all the many things you did at school. A great class, and it's really been fun to be able to see you all and see you grow up. So congratulations, follow your dreams, and good luck. The Galway Lioness Club, the Galway Lions, and our Leo clubs are a community service group, which actually is one of the Lions is the largest in the world. We try to encourage our young people to participate in community service. So today we're giving a Volunteer Community Service Award. This award is presented to a student through their high school years of grades 9 through 12 and for their many activities that they have done for community service. And all of our awards that were submitted this year were really good, but this year's winner of our Volunteer Community Service Award is Eric Matthews. He's taller than me now. Our next award that I'm presenting, the Lioness kind of has custody of it, but Jackie Sprague's family and many other people contribute to. This award is presented to a Galway High School graduate who, like Jackie, has a love of animal. And I have to say about Jackie, Jackie has been gone for quite a while now, but Jackie Sprague was a member of our maintenance department at school. Jackie always wore a smile, did her job, and if someone needed something, she was always there to help. I know she was a great supporter of our Head Start program and just a real, true worker. So this year, this award for the love of pets, or possibly working with pets, goes to Gabriella Decker. Thank you.
Good morning and congratulations to all of you. I'm here to present awards on behalf of my grandparents who are both active community members and school members here at Galway. The first award, Mr. Richard Lukasiewicz was a former principal at Galway Central High School. The Friends of Richard Lukasiewicz at Chuck's Store is presented to a senior who, like Mr. Lukasiewicz, has a compassion for others and has demonstrated community service. This student has an appreciation for music and has held leadership positions throughout their school years. This year's award goes to Jake Restivo. Mr. Lukasiewicz was a respected principal at Galway High School and a well-loved community member. The Galway School and Community Richard Lukasiewicz Memorial Scholarship is presented to the senior who, like Mr. Lukasiewicz, has a love and appreciation for music and has the ability to lead others. This year's award goes to James Hoffman. The Sue Lukasiewicz Galway Players Award is presented to seniors making a contribution to the theater, and this year's award goes to Gabriella Decker and Eric Matthews.
Good morning, congratulations. I have to do a quick shout out to the GTV staff. This past 2 weeks, we have had 2 alumni here almost every single day, and they have lives and jobs, and they're here setting this all up for us every time. You know, it's just, that's what I love about Galway, is that we have all these students that always are ready to come back and help out in any way they can. And up in the booth, we have Cody Izzo and Graham Northup, and Chad Sherman, too, is helping out. So thank you very much. And thank you, Brian Alden, intern. All right, good. The Joseph Henry Memorial Recognition Award is given this year to 2 seniors that have valued their education and appreciate the support that Galway Central School District has given them. The first recipient this year is Drake Bouchard. And the second recipient of the Joseph Henry Memorial Recognition is Ryan Radzewski. The Joseph Henry Honorary Award is given this year to a senior who has shown independence in achieving his educational goals. This year, the award is given to Sammy Mitchell. The Robert and Mildred Eaton Memorial Award is given by their children in memory of their parents to the student who has shown continuous academic improvement and who demonstrates an active concern and respect for his or her environment. And this year's recipient is Justin Matthews.
The Galway Teachers Association Scholarship Award is presented to the senior who has expressed an interest in teaching as a profession, has been accepted in college, and has shown academic leadership based on achievement. This year, I'm pleased to present this award to Skylar Arnold. The Richard Gray Memorial GTA Scholarship is awarded to the senior who plans on attending college and who, in the face of adversity, exemplifies dedication to hard work, compassion for others, and a positive attitude towards life. This year, we have 2 recipients. The first is April Carlson. The second recipient of the Richard Gray Memorial GTA Scholarship is Jake Restivo. The Galway PTSA SAD Chapter Award is presented to the senior who has contributed to the concepts that SAD stands for, Students Helping Students. This year's recipient is Sarah Cheveri. The Sharon Rice Memorial Award is presented to a student who has exhibited personal growth during his or her years at Galway. Someone who brings out the best in others without looking for any personal glory, and a person who, like Mrs. Rice, is non-judgmental of others, a true friend. This year's recipient is Griffin Gannon. The Kurt B. Smith Memorial Award goes to a student who, like Kurt, realized the value of a high school diploma and made the decision to remain in school and to graduate. This year, this award is presented to John Nelly.
Good morning, everybody. The Student Senate Leadership Awards are presented to the students that have demonstrated school spirit and taken the responsibility of leadership to promote a better student program. This year's 2 award winners are Griffin Gannon and Maya Vanderhorst. And the PTSA Business Service Award is presented to the student who has taken a full range of business courses and who intends to further his or her knowledge of the business world by attending college in the fall. This year's award winner is Jasmine Rose.
Congratulations, and thank you for letting me be your advisor. The PTSA Greg Rockwood Memorial Award is given in memory of Coach Greg Rockwood to a student who, like Mr. Rockwood, exemplifies true interest in the spirit of technology, one who is always eager to learn, to create, and to build, and still has energy left to devote to family, school, and community activities. The award winner is Graham Wilbrant. The James Donnan Memorial Award goes to the senior exhibiting the same even-tempered behavior, win or lose, who shows leadership in the whole community, treating all people the same from all walks of life, and who communicates ideas well in a clear and articulate manner. This award recipient is Eric Matthews. The American Red Cross Blood Service, a high school scholarship, is presented to a graduating senior who has been instrumental in the organization of the Red Cross blood drives here at Galway. And this award recipient is Maya Vanderhorst.
Congratulations, class of 2018. It's my privilege to offer the Galway PTSA Joseph Henry Award is presented to the senior who has displayed the spirit of the scientific method, and the award goes to Brandon Wright. The PTSA Healthcare Professions Award recognizes a student who plans to enter an institution of higher learning to specialize in a field or area related to healthcare profession. And the award goes to Annalise Ostrowski. The PTSA Attendance Award goes to the senior who has had the best attendance record during 13 years of school, and the record goes to Graham Wilbrant. The PTSA Knights of Pythias Award is presented to a senior who is truly an achiever, regardless of class rating, and the award goes to Ryan Radzewski.
Congratulations, class of 2018. I want to thank you for a great year, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. So thank you very much. My first award is the Mildred S. Kalinkowitz Memorial Award. It's given to a senior student athlete who performs in an exemplary manner while representing Galway Central School on the field or court. This student, in the school's opinion, should have provided a real sense of motivation and spirit to all their student athletes. The award goes to Grace Montague. The next award is the PTSA Kathy Shaw Memorial Award. It is presented in loving memory of Kathy Shaw, who in her 23 years as a nursery school teacher in Galway touched the lives of countless children. This award is presented to a graduating senior who, like Kathy, shows a genuine love for children and will be pursuing a degree in education. This award goes to Skylar Arnold. The next award is the Rosalie B. Eaton Memorial Award. It's presented to a deserving senior pursuing a college degree in the field of art, music, or drama. Sarah Chaveri. My next award is the Coach Goodemo Memorial Soccer Fund. This is given to a varsity soccer player. This player puts their whole heart into every game. Justine Quay. The Philip A. Soul Memorial Award is presented to a senior player excelling in varsity soccer, Eric Matthews. My final award is the Bill Schrader Senior Memorial Scholarship. It is presented to a graduating runner who plans to attend college and continue to participate in track or cross country, who is involved in extracurricular activities and whom running plays an important part in their lives. Jake Restivo.
Morning. The Galway Administrators Association Award is presented to a graduating senior who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and service to our school and community. This year's recipient is Graham Wilbrandt. The Greater Galway Volunteer Fire Department Scholarship Award was established in 2004 by Galway, Harmony Corners, Providence, and West Charlton Volunteer Fire Departments to provide a benefit to volunteer firefighters and their families in recognition of their hard work and dedication to the community. This award is presented to a senior who plans to attend an accredited institute of higher learning in the fall of 2018. They must be either a firefighter who is in good standing of one of the departments or have a parent, guardian, or relative of one of the departments. This year we have 3 recipients. Our first recipient is Dylan Ogden. Our next recipient is Molly Ryan. Our final recipient is where I started, Graham Wilbrandt.
The Logan P. Wieland Memorial Award is presented to a graduating senior planning to enter into the branch of service, a student like Logan that is outgoing, has a positive outlook, and is always willing to lend a helping hand. The recipient this year is Gregory Alden.
Before I get my scholarship, I just want to say congrats to you guys. You did it. When I was in school, you were all babies, and now you're adults, and that's awesome. Okay, so the Connor S. Bradshaw Memorial Scholarship is presented to a graduating senior who, like Connor, is a hardworking average student and is planning to go to college to pursue a degree in the STEM field such as engineering. This student is also involved in community activities, is a friend to everyone, and is always willing to lend a hand. This year's recipient is Leah Oten.
The Ballston Spa National Bank Scholarship Award is presented to a graduating senior continuing his or her education at a 2-year or 4-year school. The award is based on recognition of academic achievement in math, science, engineering, or business, while demonstrating a commitment to community service. This year's recipient is Jasmine Rose. The PTSA Millard Follett Memorial Award is presented in fond memory of Mrs. Follett, who was a kindergarten teacher in our district for many years. The award is presented to an individual who has indicated an interest in working in a school setting with children. This year's recipient, Dylan Palazewski. The PTSA Bonnie Burton Memorial Award is given in memory of Bonnie Burton, past president of the Galway PTSA and an aide for many years at Galway Central School. The award is intended for a graduating senior whose spirit embodies a love of life. This year's recipient, April Carlson. The Parish Memorial Award is presented to 2 college-bound students who in 4 years of high school have consistently demonstrated the qualities of reliability, service, and diligence, and have reflected a wholesome attitude towards school and scholarship endeavors. The first recipient is Leah Vanderhorst. Your second recipient is Brendan White. The Blue Cross Scholarship Award is presented to a graduating senior who is pursuing studies in the health or life science field and represents Blue Cross' core value of teamwork, integrity, passion, personal responsibility, excellence, and respect for other. This year's recipient, Jake Restivo. The PTSA American Citizenship Award is sponsored by the National Association of Secondary School Principals and is presented to a student who displays an understanding and appreciation of civic responsibility and establishes a positive attitude towards classmates and school community. This year's recipient, Jake Restivo. The Span-Fellner Scholarship Fund is given to a senior who demonstrates dedication to community service and academic standing, as suggested in the fund's agreement. This year's recipient, Sarah Chiaveri. The Fulton Montgomery Community College Foundation Scholarship is presented to a senior who has maintained a B average and will be attending FMCC in the fall. This year's recipient, Julianne Labreche. The PTSA Charles H. Field Award is presented to a senior nominated by the Valedictorian and Salutatorian of the class for having made outstanding progress during his or her school year. This year's recipient, Jonathan Hoyt. The Richard Buffard Memorial Award is presented to a senior who has accepted classmates for good qualities, lends a hand of friendship and is supportive when someone is troubled, and treats his or her fellow human beings with respect. This award is voted on by the entire senior class. This year's recipient, Griffin Gannon. The PTSA School Volunteer Award is presented to a senior who has given his or her time and service to the school. This help is greatly needed and appreciated. This year's recipient, Gregory Alden. The Richard T. Harris Senior Memorial Award is presented in loving remembrance of Mr. Harris, a transportation department employee in our district for several years. The award is presented to the graduating senior who has demonstrated a desire to serve his or her community through the volunteer activities. This year's recipient, Justin Matthews. The Nancy Harris Memorial Award is presented in loving remembrance of Mrs. Harris, a teacher aide for many years at Galway Senior High School. This award is presented to a graduating senior who shares Mrs. Harris' love of children and/or animals. This year's recipient, Hannah Bramer. The Michael Stoddard Memorial Award is presented to a graduating senior who has achieved success in a career and technical education program. The recipient will be active in the community. This year we have two recipients. The first is Christina Dupree. Our second recipient is Dylan Ogden. The Brenda Horstman Memorial Award is presented to a graduating senior who, like Brenda, is outgoing, hardworking, has a passion for animals, and is either involved with 4-H or FFA. This year's recipient, Justin Matthews. Each year, the graduating class selects a speaker who they feel has inspired, influenced, or significantly contributed to their education during their time at Galway. This year, the class of 2018 has selected retired English teacher of the Galway Senior High School, Mrs. Denise Kalinkowitz. So please help me in welcoming Mrs. Kalinkowitz.
Graduation day, oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. I just want to start with a quick story. Several weeks ago, I received a totally unexpected phone call from Griffin Gannon during the day. She introduced herself as the president of the senior class at Galway Central School. She was wondering if I would like to speak at graduation. I immediately said, absolutely not. I'm not a public speaker. I'm sure you can find somebody who would be much more appropriate. Then I said, wait a second, let me just think. Can I think on it overnight? I thought the next morning, how could I not be here? How could I not speak? This class was a very special one to me. I taught English here at Galway for 40 years, believe it or not. The last year that I taught was the year that this class was in 8th grade. So I had all of them in 8th grade English. The individuals in this class made my last year of teaching most special and most memorable. It was a treat, really, to have so many absolutely awesome students in one class. They're all so bright. They possess such a wide variety of talents. I love the fact that these kids always had that wide-eyed excitement and an innate curiosity. They liked to question, to test, to experiment. They wanted to compete against each other, yet they were always willing to step up to work as a team to help each other. This group of kids is kind, generous, and helpful. Honestly, they're just plain nice human beings. I will admit that sometimes, and sometimes too often, I won't mention any names, they drove me absolutely crazy. But they could also make me laugh harder than anyone can imagine. I learned something new every day from these guys. Sometimes I learned things that I was sure I really didn't want to know. I'm thrilled to be asked to share the graduation day with this class. I can only imagine the things that these graduates will accomplish in their lifetimes. I want to give them one piece of advice as you guys go off in so many different directions. Don't forget where you grew up and where you went to school. I want you to be Galway proud. You've been lucky to be able to grow up and to go to school in such a caring community. It is really a gift to be part of a school where everyone knows everyone else by name. When you leave these halls, you will be joining an elite club of Galway alumni who have paved many different paths in life. Galway grads are all over the world doing all sorts of things. I personally know of an accountant in China, a lawyer in Australia, an English teacher in Bali. A number of alumni have served in the military. Galway students are teachers, songwriters, airplane pilots, policemen, firemen, engineers, construction workers, road pavers, and Navy SEALs. Galway grads are engineers and hairdressers. You will find Galway students as doctors, nurses, PAs, CNAs, EMTs. So grads, find your own path to pave, but always proudly be proud to be a Galway alumni. Be Galway proud. Now I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to give you guys a little assignment. I'm going to ask you to read a book. I'm actually giving each of you a book to read. It's underneath your chair if you want to look. It feels a little like the Ellen Show. Everybody gets to go home with something. That's what you guys have. Okay. Um, the book is entitled The One and Only Ivan. It is a Newbery Award winner, and it really has a wonderful message of enduring friendship. That's the reason that I want you to read it cover to cover. I know you guys will enjoy it because it's the three things that are important. For you guys, it's short. There are pictures. It's a true story, and it has a gorilla as a central character. So take it home, that's my assignment, and actually read it. When you're done, share the book with somebody you love. In front of the book, I wrote a personal message to each of you. And the message comes from a song that I want to play for you by Jason Mraz. I heard this song 2 weeks ago, and it just hit me that this is the most perfect message for me to leave with you today. Pardon me that the song is 4 minutes long, but I'm hopeful that we'll enjoy it. Mr. Miller has kindly provided the lyrics in your program. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're there for you to enjoy. Mr. Izzo, are you ready? Okay. Do you guys have the lyrics? I want you to have it all.
Thank you, Mrs. Kalinkowitz, for that moving address and thoughtful gift. Now I would like to invite Mr. Shine to come up and give the presentation of the graduates.
Will the graduates please stand? By the power vested in me as Superintendent of Schools, I hereby certify that the students listed on the official program have met all the requirements and should be declared graduates of the Galway Junior-Senior High School class of 2018. Graduates, please remove your tassels from the right to the left.
At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Dennis Shapperjohn, our Board of Education Vice President, who will join me on stage for the presentation of diplomas for the class of 2018. Maya Allison Vanderhorst. Eric Joseph Matthews. Brandon Michael White. Sarah Marie Chaveri. Griffin Caroline Gannon. Molly Elizabeth Ryan. Jake Roldan Restivo. Leah Haley Vanderhorst. Jasmine Christine Rose. Graham Donald Wilbrandt. April Lauren Carlson. Gregory James Alden Jr. Skylar Lee Arnold. Sydney Takara Atchinson. Devin Richard Atkinson. Kelly Christine Bukowski. Colin Michael Bear. Shane Edwards Billings Jr. Drake Ty Bouchard. Kalia Ashley Boudreau. Hannah Grace Bramer. Jonathan James Cook. Caitlin Doreen Coons. Andrew Charles Creddy Jr. Hannah Claire Darling. Gabriella Rose Decker. Christina Marie Dupree. Matthew Stephen Deverneau. Audra Rose Green. Justin Michael Halbritter. Nicholas Orion Hanna. James William Hoffman. Carly Olivia Horseman. Jonathan Tyler Hoyt. Michael Austin Jasinski. Julianne May Labreche. Benjamin Ryan Lafreniere. Richard Aaron Lundquist III. Philip Mario Marchese. Bradley Patrick Harrington. Justin Thomas Matthews. Logan Elizabeth Mello. Samuel Evan Mitchell. Grace Catherine Montague. Evan Michael Morse. Eric Charles Mothon. Samantha Ann Munchback. They're out of whack too. Jonathan Matthew Nelly. Dylan Matthew Ogden. Timothy Daniel Oliver. Annalise Noel Ostrowski. Leah Ann Oten. William Jack Aus. Dylan Hunter Palazewski. Nicholas Jonathan Flieger. Travis Scott Neer. Abigail Lindsay Pritchard. Julian Rose Quay. Justine Victoria Quay. Ryan Thomas Rudzuski. Jerica Elizabeth Savage Torino. Joshua Evan Sheeran. Caitlin Ashley Sisler. Cody Peter Woodtropsky. Megan Colleen Whalen. Thor Noah White. Emily Jo Smith. Tanner Stephen Williams. Adam Joseph Wright. I give you the class of 2018. Please stand and join me in this singing of America the Beautiful and then the Galway Central School alma mater. As they